So speaking of Grammys,
Mhm.
and hip hop, um, the Hip Hop Caucus,
Mhm.
we received the email from them, and the Hip
Mhm.
Hop Caucus is standing with Dee Barnes with regards, and all black women with
Mhm.
regards to how basically Dr. Dre has gone 30 plus years without full I guess, accountability of
Mhm.
what he did to Dee Barnes
Yep.
and how he assaulted her and ruined her career. And on top of that, has been awarded countlessly, not only by accolades and
Mhm.
money off of albums sold and constant, um, being one of those producers that are in high demand in hip hop. But he's also been rewarded on several occasions from different bodies, like the Grammys and
Mhm.
other organizations that give him, acknowledgement for his craft. And what the Hip Hop Caucus is saying, and they're an organization that watches all the things that are happening in hip hop on a intellectual,
Mhm.
socio-political side. They're like a watchdog group,
Mhm.
and they're taking into account all of these things that are happening, and they're the ones that are finally saying enough,
Yes.
enough, enough, enough. Guys like Dr. Dre, a lot of gentlemen in the hip hop game are probably going to start receiving some type of public retribution for the things that they have done.
Mhm.
And we were just wondering, like, so Dr. Ed, how do you feel? What kind of ripple effect will this have on the community, the hip hop community, and the black community at
Yes.
large?
Yeah, all praise is due to the Hip Hop Caucus. I'm personally shocked. You know what I'm saying? And I'm shocked in a good way because we all know from following hip hop. I mean, I'm 46, so I got it
Mhm.
for 46 years. You know, it
Yep.
was out 4 more before I was born. But hip hop has a patriarchy problem, just like the United States of America and globally, right? And
Facts.
so hip hop's dirty secret is the misogyny that still exists in black women having control over their lives, their
Mhm.
sexuality. Hip hop has always been oppressive to women in
Mhm.
many of its aspects. So the fact that this has happened, I hope it frees people that have power within hip hop culture to start holding people accountable. When I look at hip hop, I think about sisters holding it down. You know what I'm saying? I think about MC Light. I think
Mhm.
about Queen Latifah. I think about the sister who was even over Sugar Hill Records, the first commercial
Sylvia
released in
Robinson,
hip
yeah.
hop, Sylvia Robinson, right? So women have always been the backbone of hip hop, but we have not loved them enough to shout them out and
Mhm.
speak for them publicly. So I think that this public shout out has the ability to have not only retribution but a redistribution of wealth that puts black women in their proper place in the discipline of hip hop.
Man, thank you so much for that. And you're absolutely right. One of the conversations that Sir Daniel and I have been having during the Hip Hop 50 conversation is we've been pleasantly surprised at how hip hop has elevated women to like the forefront. And I remember Questlove when we were the Grammy performance, and he was like, "We actually did consider a all women lineup. Like we were like seriously like that's probably the direction we'll take this." So it's been great watching during this 50th anniversary. I do think there's a bit of a reckoning with the impact of women on the culture and the treatment of women within the culture. And so yeah, both Sir Daniel and I agree. We were so surprised when we got this email like, wait, what? No one's ever been as plain as saying what they said and using the term thus that is a slap in the face to black women and other women of color who had to fight over the last handful of decades to rewrite the tolerance of gendered violence and build a space for themselves when they should have been welcomed in the first place. Like I'm like, oh, y'all are serious. And then we have a great interview between Sister Dee Barnes and Dawn Richard, where Sister D gets the opportunity to talk about won her contribution and sit in it, like, and own her contribution. Like, no, I was 19, 20 years old building a platform. You know what I'm saying? Having a group, building a platform, putting people on, and and owning that she should be celebrated for that, right? At a time when hip hop was still new to pop culture. So this is great. So we'll make sure that we post the Hip Hop Caucus's letter in the description so that folks can check it out, because it is quite important.
I did want to say something about Dee Barnes. We've never like really given her the flowers, recognition, financial support, counseling that she needed to manage this particular tragedy that happened to her. When I think about when I first started my show, I had a show in college that I inherited from another brother called the Underground, right? And so Dee Barnes, Arnell Star. They had a
Yep.
local show in Atlanta. Give the
American Rap
Underground.
Yeah.
Makers.
Yeah, American rap maker. So people like him and D Barnes were very critical in me understanding, hey, I can take this culture, I can interview folks. And so she was very inspirational to me, but to have her left out of the history. Like when we talk
Mm-hmm.
about hip hop journalism, we don't
Yep.
talk about her. When we talk about contributions to the culture and women being a backbone of hip hop, she's left out, and she's left out because she challenged the system. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like when you challenge the system, and unfortunately when you challenge traditional and toxic masculinity, there's a price to pay.
Mm.
And we should have been there for her in
Yes.
more ways than we have.
Mm. Thank you so much for that, Ed.